a wireless service that came on television within the past 7 or 8 years. But the question would come forth, and the man would just go around asking, "Can you hear me now?" Now, I know everyone has all of these fancy cell phones, but have you ever been tried to have a conversation with somebody with bad reception? You just hear every word that they're trying to say, and you can't understand what's going on because all this is, and they're really trying to be serious with you, and they're on the phone crying, and they give me a word, and they say, "I'm sorry. I can't understand the word that you're saying." Because just like Brother Brown said, you're talking loud, but you are saying nothing. So here we are now. Paul says, though I speak with the tongue of men and angels, though I have a lot to say, if I don't have love, I am just making noise. I stopped by to tell you that sometimes you can be saying a lot, but saying what I don't need to hear. Right. I'm going to say it again. You could be saying something, but if it's not what I need to hear, then I am not listening.
All right.
I've learned to tune my ears into what I need to hear at the moment. Otherwise, it is simply noise. We as human beings have that capability. You would go plumb crazy if you went to the mall and tried to listen to every single conversation that was going past your ears. You would have to focus on what is important in order to help you at the moment.
Amen.
So Paul now tells us we ought to be careful, we ought to be careful what we're saying, who we're saying it to, but we've got to be careful of just talking and not saying anything.
All right.
I don't know if you ever heard sounding brass or tinkling cymbal before, but that's a very annoying sound for brass to just go over and over and over again. I hear God now. Some of us, you think people hear you, but if you don't love your neighbor, not only you are not reaching them, you are an annoyance to them.
All right. All right.
Some of us Christians may not want to hear that because we say Jesus every day, all the time. But if you don't come to somebody in love, not only are you not helping them, but you are an annoyance to them.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Amen.
I'm the kind of person, I don't like just people just giving me a bunch of lip service, but sometimes you need some action.
All right. Tell it.
The Show Me Baby. I remember that one. That was a few years ago.
All right.
But sometimes you got to have some action with your words.
Amen.
So what Paul is now saying here, if you speak in the tongues of men and angels, but you don't have an action word, love behind it, then you are simply making a noise. Just like someone who makes a promise and never fulfills what they're going to say.
Amen.
Somebody tell you they know how to cook and they can burn in the kitchen, but you never have tasted their food, so all they are is just making noise.
All right.
So though I speak with the tongue of men and angels and have not love, I'm become as sounding brass and tinkling cymbal. He goes on to say, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have faith so that I could remove mountains, if I don't have love, I am no thing.
All right.
Therefore, I am non-existent. So though I listen, the gift of prophecy is extremely important. I tell everyone it's important in the body of God. It's important in the body of Christ and I tell people about discernment. With prophecy comes discernment. Yeah. And I've stopped by to tell you, God don't speak to you without pricking your heart or confirming what he said.
All right.
There's a lot of folks right here out now listening to false prophets.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Listen to what people personally want to happen to you. But if you get a word from God, I'm telling you, you will know from heaven on high that it's from God himself. And he will independently confirm everything he says. That's how you know it's from God.
Amen.
I'll tell you that. But though I have the gift of prophecy and I understand mysteries and I understand knowledge, I might be in tune. And though I have faith, I stopped by to tell you faith works like gravity. faith is a principle.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a Christian to have faith. Don't y'all tip out. I'm going to say it again.
Go ahead, Pastor.
You don't have to be a Christian to have faith. Faith is simply a principle. If you believe, you get things because you believe. People are successful today because they have faith.
That's right.
Y'all don't believe it?
Yeah.
There was a billionaire back in 2015 said, I believe I could be president. And he had faith.
All right.
So faith is a principle in the earth. If you have faith, you will get. But won't it be a sad thing to get stuff? Because faith will get you stuff. I'm telling you, faith will get you stuff. If you believe, faith can get you some money. If you believe. I know faith alone not going to give me money. Oh, yes, living faith. Oh, what do you mean by living faith? Because the Bible declares faith without works is dead. So if you catch this. You can't have faith and no action.
All
I'm
right.
coming to a sideline. It's impossible to have it. Because with your faith gives you enough belief in order for you to move and have action. If you don't have action, then you didn't truly believe.
All right. All right.
So your faith will get you things. But Paul is saying, even though I have faith, with faith I can move mountains. The mountain doesn't ask me, do I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and that he rose from the dead? The mountain will move because of my faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can have all of that, but still not have love.
My Lord.
And at the end of the day, I am still nothing.
All right.
He goes on to say, and though I bestow my goods to feed the poor. There's nothing wrong with helping people. Because all of us need help at some point in time. I can take a side note. All of us have been at the point and may still be at the point where you need some help. Everybody that need help may not be standing in the soup kitchen or standing outside or sleeping at Penn Station, but everybody needs some help. There's some folks dressed real nice that you have no idea. They just need some help. There's some folks with a lot of money that still need some help. There's nothing wrong with helping others. But he said, listen to this. I give all my goods to feed the poor, and I may give my body to be burned. That means I'm willing to risk everything.
Yes.
But if I don't have love, it profits me nothing. What does the word profit mean? If we think of the very basic definition of profit, we think of the business definition of profit. It is when your income exceeds your expenses. When you have a business, you want to profit. If you pay $20 for something, you don't want to sell it for $20 because then that is not a profit. If you pay $20 and you sell it for $15, then you are now operating in a loss. So he says, if I give all of this to my body to be burned and don't love, it profits me nothing. A profit is an addition. It's something that adds to your life. And I don't know about you, but at this point in time and where I am in my life, if it's not adding to my life, I don't need it. If it's not adding, listen, I don't need to. Some of us have some folks or some things that are pulling away from me. But now I need to know, as you as a person, what are you adding to me? What value are you adding? Pastor, I need some scripture to back up. The Bible declares the blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow.
Amen. Yeah.
So if it's not adding to my life, I don't need it. So now Paul is saying, if you're doing all of this and don't love, you are still operating in loss.
Jesus.
Isn't that a horrible thing? You are now operating in loss. You just filled up your gas tank, but there's a hole in the tank.
My Lord.
If you don't operate in love, catch this, all your good deeds are leaking out because the Bible says what goes around comes around. And yes, it comes around again, but you can't keep it if you don't love.
All right.
You're not going to be able to hold on to it. So he says, and though I bestow everything I have to feed the poor, I do all of these good things and I give my body to be burned, but don't have love, it profits me nothing. If I can just tell somebody your motives are important.
Your motives are
Yeah.
important.
I'm gonna say it again. Your motives. Sometimes we gotta check. We don't like to say this, but sometimes we need to check our motives. We need to check why I'm doing this. I can give you $1,000 but have the wrong motive. God can give you $10 but have the right motive and be blessed. Your motive is important. What drives? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I giving to you to make you feel bad? Because you know there's some folks out there like that. I will help you to make you feel bad. I want the whole world to know that I'm helping you. I'm going to make you feel down about what I have and you ain't got, and you don't work hard as me, and you can't get it like I got it. That's the wrong motive.
Yes, it is. Amen.
When you make people beg, yeah, I know y'all don't do that. But you make them beg a little bit, don't ask them, but make them beg, that's the wrong motive. So Paul is saying, if I give my goods to feed the poor and my body to be burned, but I don't love, I have the wrong motive. Check your motive.
All right. Amen.
Love now suffers long and is kind. Love is patient. We live in an impatient society.
Amen.
Very impatient society. I was born, I can tell you all the year, I was born in 1981. Y'all can do the math. And I watched things change in society from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s right within my lifetime. I really watched things change. I used to get what folks would say when I was growing up and I didn't have the TV and I had black and white, I couldn't understand that. Like, well, Lord, but now I can understand. Like, oh, now I know what it is. I didn't have a cell phone all the time. Oh, yes, I actually had to use the house phone. There actually used to be a busy signal. I couldn't FaceTime you all the time. I didn't know I couldn't post to Facebook, Instachat, and Lullagram and all of those when I'm doing 24/7. We had to be patient.
Amen.
I was talking to Don the other day. If you wanted the news, you went to that little orange thing, you put 50 cents in it, you read it. You didn't pull up your phone and pull out the CNN and NJ.com. You had to wait to the end of the day to see what was going on. We had a different level of patience.
Amen.
Now let something happen. They done tweeted about it. They done told you about it. It's old news. By the time you get home at 6 o'clock, you done heard everything.
All right. Amen.
Because we live in a society where we want everything instantly, and instant is not fast enough. You wanted some information, you used to go to the library to say, can I speak to the research librarian? You had to go there and say, can I use that encyclopedia? You had to sit there and make some copies. If you needed something, put that one back. Then once you put that one back, then you went and got another one. Now you go online, type in what you want.
Yes.
All right.
But patience is something that is lost. But the thing is, all of us want someone to be patient with us, but we are not willing to be patient with somebody else. Isn't the shoe on the other foot different when you are the one waiting as opposed to you are the one keeping everybody waiting?
All right.
Oh, it feels kind of different.
Yes, it does.
When you're the one sitting up there waiting, twiddling your fingers, it feels different. But when they're waiting, they can just wait. What they being so impatient for? When you at the light glowing in your glove compartment, why y'all blowing at me? Because the light is green and we got something. But it's real different. We expect everyone, including God, to be patient with us.
My Lord.
I'm just a human. I make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. We want everybody to be patient with us, but we don't have the same level of patience with someone else. When you truly love someone, you are patient. You actually don't mind waiting. Why do you think God is patient with us? Because he loves us.
Yes. Amen.
So glad about that.
Amen.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't have the capability to be as patient with you as God is. I don't have it.
All right.
I'm just
None of
telling
us
you the
do.
truth right now. I do not have it. But God sits waiting patiently with us because he loves us. So if you want to know someone truly loves somebody, if someone is willing to wait. Am I willing to wait? Folks are still willing to wait for certain things.
That's right.
Y'all believe the truth? Day before yesterday, there were some folks willing to wait.
Yeah.
They were willing to wait. They was up there. And I thought the stores opened early on Friday. They told me they opened Thanksgiving night. Folks was getting up the table, leaving turkey on the table and going there.
Spending the night there. Amen.
Because they were willing to wait. If you want something bad enough, you are willing to wait. So love is patient and it is kind. Sometimes we just gotta just be nice. It's nice to be nice. Sometimes we just gotta learn how to be nice. We've given up the art of being nice, treating each other with kindness. Folks don't even understand. I try to hold the door for people. I don't like slamming the door when somebody's behind me. Folks get upset. No, just go ahead. No, I'm just being nice. There's nothing wrong with being nice. And I don't know what it is about that, because y'all grew up in Jersey. It's something about Jersey. You can say good morning to somebody, look at you crazy. Go somewhere else and say good morning.
Man, I can't wait to get back to Virginia.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it, but you go somewhere else in the country and say good morning. They say good morning, but you think there's something wrong with them. Do I know her? No, they're just saying good morning. It's nothing wrong with just being nice. We got to learn the art of Christians. Sometimes we rush in the Bible study, rush in the choir rehearsal. You want to meet some nasty people, ask them where they're going. I took the bus for years. You should see those frowning people holding their Bible.
All right, Pastor.
Won't say excuse you to you, almost tripping you. The older person, disabled person, won't get up, look the other way, but got their Bible so they can get to Sunday school on time.
Jesus.
We've got to learn how to be kind.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Amen. Teach. Amen.
This world, listen to this. This world is not interested. Listen, folks already know Jesus saves. You're not telling anybody anything new. I'm going to tell you this again. If you're saying Jesus said, I never heard of Jesus. I didn't know that. They can turn on the TV. They can do on Bible.com. They can turn on the Word Network. They go on Channel 5. They go on BT. They can hear all the preaching and singing. And you ask to sing a gospel song, they'll sing it with you.
Amen. That's right.
Folks now need to read and to see our lives. And sometimes seeing your life, they don't even know. Listen to this. Paul said, although I give to charity, folks don't know how much you give to charity, but they know how much you smiled at them today. They don't know how much you stayed on your knees in your secret closet, but they know if you said excuse me or thank you.
All right.
How many of y'all told the person at White Castle thank you after you grabbed your birth? It's just the small acts of being kind. That's where true love is. That's why all this other stuff don't make a difference. All this other stuff, giving your body to be burned and speaking in the tongue of men and angels. But he said love is kind.
Amen.
Love does not envy.
Hallelujah.
Jesus.
In order to not envy, some people think being silent is not being jealous. In order to not envy, I need to be happy for you. If I can't be happy for you, therefore I am envious. I ain't jealous. I ain't happy for her. That is jealousy.
All right. All right.
I need to be happy when you succeed. Happy when you get something. If she just or he just bought a house, I am happy. If they just got a better job, I'm happy for them. And not just happy for big stuff and little stuff, happy for everything. Learn not to belittle people's success.
All right.
They call you and say, I found my other earring. I am so glad. I am happy for you. That ain't nothing. Don't be disturbing me, calling me about that. But I'm happy about everything for you. That's when somebody truly loves you. They are excited about what makes you excited.
Amen. Amen.
Anybody that knows me, and I'm a little better with DVR and everything else like that, but anybody knows me, I think it was back around the 90s, Star Trek was my favorite show. When that came on, if we were in the middle of a phone conversation, it needed to end while that program was on the television. If I ain't going to say it too loud, mother asked me to do something, I could not hear what was going on while that program
Amen.
was on the television. Because it was important to me. But if that came on when anybody was around me, if they knew one thing about me, folks stopped calling me Wednesday at 9 p.m. because they knew what was important to me. Listen to this. When somebody's in a relationship with someone else, you know what's important to them.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Darn, if you say that you don't like gray and every year he give you a gray blouse, but it's nice though, ain't it nice? Why don't you wear that for me? But I just told you I didn't. So love is not envious. It knows what is important. It does not vaunt itself. It is not prideful and puffed up. So tap somebody and say, it's not all about you.
It's not
I know
all about
sometimes we just think it's all about us.
Oh,
We just
yes.
exist. It's just about me. It's too cold for me. It's to turn the heat down because I'm hot. I don't care who else is cold in the
All
room.
right.
Stop this. It is all about me. It is how I'm feeling today. What's all this traffic? It must be traffic for me. They must have did it because I was walking out the house. They must have ran out of it at the store because they knew I was on my way there. It is not all about you.
Amen.
Amen.
When you love, you are concerned not just about yourself, but as a solution, helping one another. You're concerned about someone else.
Amen.
And the truth of the matter is, if you're around loving people, catch this. If I'm concerned about you and you're concerned about me, then we learn how to take care of each other.
That's right.
Amen. Amen.
But the issue now is we live in a selfish society. It's all about me.
Amen.
Jesus.
Yeah, selfie and selfie. How many likes could I? Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. How many likes could I get when I say this? How many folks are in agreement with what I say? It's all about me. And I ain't never seen folks take that many pictures of themselves in one day. I'm sorry, that's a side note. You know how you look. Lord, have mercy. And it ain't just the children. Don't say amen too loud.
That's right, Pastor.
Some adults. I know ain't nobody here sneaking to take one after. But it's not just all about me. It's not envy. It's not vaunted. It's not puffed up. It does not behave itself unseemingly. It's not easily provoked. In other words, stop having so many buttons. Lord have mercy. There is something wrong when you are exposed and anybody can push all of your buttons. Your buttons are exposed.
Jesus.
Many of us are too easily provoked.
Yes.
You don't want to be around somebody that look like they're about to go off the edge at any given moment, at any given time.
Jesus.
Something can upset you. Something. That's just how I am. I've learned, if I can take a side note for a moment, I've learned that we need to stop using that excuse of that's just how I am. I've learned that in my life. I got to stop that too. Because I'm used to that. Well, they need to just get with, if you're going to be around me, then you need to get with who I am. Then change who you,
All right.
Because 1 Corinthians 5:17 says that any man be in, So it's not, you need to stop saying, is it just how I am? But is that how Christ is? If it's not how Christ is, then I ought not to be like that.
Yeah.
Amen. All right.
If any man is in Christ, he's a new creature. So he is not easily provoked and does not think evil. Gotta close. Does not rejoice in injustice. Does not get happy when bad things happen. It's sad. And it's been going on for years how many of us get happy when bad things happen. Sometimes we get happy when bad things happen to people we don't know. That's a sad thing.
Yeah. Very sad.
Well, I don't really do that too much. But you know, if you listen to gossip, that means, because what is gossip? Gossip is telling something bad about someone else.
All right.
If you enjoy a good piece of gossip, then you are rejoicing in someone else's injustice.
Wow.
They shouldn't have did that. When you knew you was a celebrity, Listen, let me tell you something. If somebody was shining a light on your life every second of the day, if somebody was tweeting everything about you, about your life that you did, and said, I ain't got nothing to hide, let them go back 5 years. Let them go back 10 years. Let them dig back. They will find something. But it does not rejoice, and that's the society. Listen, y'all, listen, I'm just going to tell you all the truth. That's a sad thing about the society that we live in. We will find something that somebody did all these years ago and try to hang them like we are so perfect ourselves.
Amen.
And the very same ones who's talking loud and running their mouths got something too high. I'll stop by to tell you the truth. I don't care what so-and-so did, so-and-so did. I'm concerned about me right now.
All right. right.
I'm concerned about living my life. Well, you got to be accountable for what you did. How people, I'm so glad that God didn't hold me. I'm so glad God didn't hold me accountable for every bad thing I did. I would be messed up right now.
All of us would be. Yes, Lord.
Jesus.
So love does not rejoice in iniquity, but it rejoices in those things that are true. Paul went on to say, in I believe it was Philippians, whatsoever things are of true and of a good report, to think on these things. We've got to change our thinking.
Amen.
We're good for seeing the bad in people. We used to say years ago, wouldn't it be nice to just turn on the TV and just see a good news channel? We don't get up and say 40 years ago, this person did this thing and they helped this person. Oh, they won't get up and say that. Oh. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they helped this person. This person did this thing good, but let them find one bad thing.
Amen.
But rejoices whenever truth wins out. Bears all things, hopes all things, and believes all things. Closing, that's the second one, darn. Charity, love does not fail. But prophecies one day are going to end. Tongues one day are going to end. Knowledge and all of these things are going to vanish away.
Yes.
We know in part, but we prophesy only in part. We think we know, as they used to say on MTV years ago, but we have no idea.
Yes.
We only see part. But that which is perfect comes, and that which is in part shall be done away. I love the way Paul broke it down. He said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Amen.
I understood like a child. I thought as a child. When you are a child, you have the expectations of a child.
That's right.
If your child is in kindergarten, you don't expect the teacher to teach them calculus.
All
I
right.
hope not.
That's
All right.
Amen, Pastor.
Because that is not the expectation of a child.
Yes.
Amen.
But when you become a little more mature, expectations change.
Yes.
When you start walking this love walk a little more, when you start being a Christian a little longer, expectations change.
Yes.
When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child. I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. The problem is with many adults is there are adults that the only thing that has changed is their age.
Glory to God. Amen.
My Lord.
That's the truth of the matter. There's a lot of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70-year-olds that are still children in their mentality. The only thing that has changed is their age.
My Lord.
But it's time for some of us just not to let the years pass, but now us to mature. Some of us are in the same place in our walk with God, in the same place in our love walk that we were 15 and 20 years ago. It is time for us to mature.
Amen.
They
Amen.
hurt my feelings. It just says love is not easily provoked. I've learned this. Stop giving people power to hurt your feelings. I'm tired and I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right.
And let it become their issue and not your issue anymore.
Yes.
I don't like what they said to me. Let them say it. If they say that's their problem, if you ever want to get them back, then don't respond to what they say.
Amen.
They said I was such and such. You know why it really hurts our feelings? You know why it really hurts your feelings? Because when there's truth in it. See, we don't want it to get there. We don't want. I'm gonna say it again. When there is truth in it, then that's why our feelings get hurt.
Yes.
Because when it's not true, we don't hurt as bad.
Amen.
So you got to be careful allowing folks to hurt your feelings. Sometimes you ought to tell folks, thank you for letting me know that about myself so I can approve. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
But when I became an adult, I put away childish things. Now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. We know in part, but then all shall be known. We know in part, but then shall I know even also like I am known. 3 things will remain. 3 things last.
Yes.
Listen, all of us have lived through the years. We know that certain things don't last. How many people know that people don't last forever?
Oh, yes.
Amen.
I'm gonna say it again. People don't last. We've seen people come and go.
Right.
People don't last forever. Authority doesn't last forever. I've seen people in authority and out of authority.
All right.
Money don't. Lord have mercy. We all know this one. Money don't. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes you get paid and don't even forget the next week. Sometimes it's almost gone on the same day.
That's right.
Amen.
But it don't last forever. But three things last: faith, hope, and love. Now the thing is, are you working on that which is going to last?
Jesus.
These cell phones, they're not going to last. Computers, they're not going to last. Houses, they're not going to last. Your clothes, they're not going to last. But these things are by faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. As we go, I believe it was the Jackson 5, but I know New Edition said it. And they said that what we need to do on Christmas is to give love
Yes. Yes.
on Christmas Day. Give somebody the gift of love. I found out that when I love, everything else falls right into place. When I love, I'm blessed because I'm loved. I have more because I love. Because what you give out comes back to you. So if you give love out, good things will, people will do things for you because they love you. People will help you because they love you. But don't expect somebody to love you and you're not loving them. Songwriter said, give me some real love because you've got real love to give. Some of us are missing out because we choose who to love.
Amen.
My Lord.
You could be blessed so much more if you would stop choosing. Everyone stand. We're going in the presence of the Lord. Songwriter, tell somebody we gotta love people.
Gotta love people.
Tell somebody else we gotta love people.
Gotta love
Can't
people.
choose who to love. Clap your hands and give the Lord a praise.